Good morning, everyone. John Henry Soto here with you, as always, bringing you the latest in entertainment and what's happening in the world of the crazy, crazy entertainment world, which I love, and I think you all love it too. That's why you're here. I appreciate you being here. It is 7 a.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee. It is July 28th, 2026. And good morning, everyone. We're gonna jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna be covering mentorship. Do you guys remember having a mentor, or people talking about having a mentor? Or back in the old days, there used to be mentors, and there would also be an apprentice. You would become an apprentice to someone, right? And then you would take over that job when that person either retired or passed on. And that's how people did their jobs. They got interested in something. They said, "Hey, you know what? I like what Joe's doing. He's working on the mills. I want to do that. That sounds like fun." And then you go and you say, "Hey, Joe, do you mind teaching me a little bit?" And Joe will be like, "Hey, right on, little buddy, let's go." And then she shows you and spend some time with you, and then next thing you know, you're doing the job, and now you have a career. And that's how mentorship works, right? It's also a good way to be challenged. So we're going to cover that this morning. Where are the mentors? I've been always trying to find a really good man. I've had great people in my career, people that have helped me on along the way, other filmmakers, actors, and people in business, real estate. I have a mentor in New Jersey, Bayonne, New Jersey, named Ben Costanza, who is a big mentor of mine, good friend. I named my son after him. That's how important he was, is to me still. But that was in real estate. And in the entertainment industry, it seems like it's really difficult to find a mentor in this world. One of the biggest changes in the entertainment industry isn't the rise of just AI and social media. It's the disappearance of the mentor. Some of the greatest musicians, filmmakers, actors, and producers learned their craft by working directly alongside someone who had already mastered it. They didn't just learn techniques, they learned professionalism, discipline, relationships, and the unwritten rule of the business. Today, much of that education has been replaced by online tutorials, podcasts, and YouTube videos. While those resources are incredibly valuable, they can't replace they can't fully replace the wisdom that comes from a real mentor who knows you personally and wants you to succeed. That is the key thing. You find someone who then takes interest in you, you take interest in them, you start kind of talking. And a mentorship sometimes takes a little bit of time, right? It's a little bit of an investment. You start networking with somebody. Next thing you know, they're helping you with your business. You're helping them with their business, and it becomes a wonderful, wonderful relationship. And now you have someone that you can say, "Oh yeah, you know what? I realize now that's my mentor." Now there are mentorship programs that you can actually follow. Um, one of them is the Nashville, for me anyway, it's the Entrepreneurial Center. Most cities have one. It's an entrepreneurial center. So if you're thinking of starting a business of some sort, we have the National Entrepreneurial Center. I'm going to give the website here at the bottom of the screen so you can take a look at it. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it scroll it at the bottom of the screen. I think that'll be fun. I don't know why that'll be fun, but anyway, there it is. And so it's a short website, right? ec.co, ec.co. That's a cool one. So it's very much possible today to go to one of the local entrepreneurial centers or to a community center that has programs, to your local library, and see if they have a mentorship program. That's one of the things I would suggest, because there are programs out there. Sometimes you just meet somebody and you really respect what they do, and you ask them, you're like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Do you have some time to work with me on what I'm working on?" Right? If you're a filmmaker, I'm going to give you at the end, I'm going to give you 5 ways to find a mentor in the entertainment industry. I am right now a mentor to quite a few people, which I love to do. I love to help people. I mean, that's my passion in life. Alongside from filmmaking and storytelling and building stories for businesses, storytelling for other corporations and businesses. This is what I love to do. Um, and becoming a mentor is just a natural progression in that direction. You know, so I've often found myself actually searching for a mentor throughout my own journey, and it's been surprisingly difficult. It has, you know, it's interesting. I have a lot of great uh, connections. I have a lot of my network is really large. I have some great acquaintances that I admire, but someone that I really can call, a mentor. I do have people also in my spiritual world. I do have people that I can call there that have helped me tremendously through my personal journeys through life, my relationships, my marriage, my being a father. All those things. That's a little bit of a different thing. That's a mentor that helps shape my whole life, but within the business. It has been difficult, and maybe it's because you know there that maybe it's because they that I admire people that are really busier than ever, right? Maybe the industry has changed, or maybe mentorship isn't just as common as it once was, right? That could be it too, right? um whatever the reason, it feels like experienced professions are less accessible than they used to be. That doesn't mean they don't care. It may simply be that the opportunities to build those relationships aren't as natural as they once were. It's something I've thought about a lot because I believe every creative person benefits from someone who's already walked the road ahead. Technology, of course, has certainly made learning easier. Today, you can watch a master class on filmmaking. You can learn guitar from a world class musician right on your YouTube channel, right? Or study acting techniques right from your living room. There's so many video tutorials on acting and performance and technique. That's an incredible advantage, but the information isn't the same as mentorship. A mentor sees your blind spots. See, that's the thing I like about a mentor. They see where you're missing, challenges your thinking, introduces you to opportunities, and sometimes simply believes in you before anyone else does. Those things are no, that's not algorithm or video tutorial. That can never happen through those things, right? That will never truly replace that actual human connection. Perhaps the entertainment industry needs to rediscover the value of mentorship, which is why I'm doing this show, because I think it's important. I think we should definitely rediscover it. Imagine if more successful artists internationally took one young filmmaker, one musician, or one actor under their wing each year. The transfer of knowledge, character, and experience could shape the next generation in ways no online course ever could. Great careers are often built on great relationships. And while technology can teach us many things, it still can't replace the impact of one person investing in another. So it's something that I feel is so valuable. I went to the AI summit, summer summit recently, um, put together by Jared Crenshaw, a gentleman that I met about a week ago. Awesome dude, does incredible work. And he put this together, and there were, I don't know, maybe I'll say anywhere between 90 and 100 uh, business entrepreneurs there from different businesses from different areas, and the event was fantastic. Jared did an amazing job. I met him. I said, "Do you need any help?" I went in. I did some photos. I have a lot of photos there that I'm putting together. I'm cleaning up and going to put together into a nice little video. It was a great event, and I got to meet so many great people there. They were all different industries that I was in, but really, what one thing that I really noticed that a lot of the entrepreneurs were involved in was storytelling. They were all involved in like really heavy dealing with storytelling. They all went up when they spoke. There was about I can't remember how many speakers, but maybe 6 or 7 speakers that went up, and they all had. Here's the flyer for it actually. AI Summer Summit. So there were 7 speakers there, and a little check means that I communicated with each of them. And they were so great. They were so gracious with their time, and that's what I love, And so the EC that you see at the bottom there, they have a tremendous amount of resources. So if you're looking for someone in whatever business you're in, that's really where you want to go first. You want to get a membership there. I think the single membership is like $50 a month. You can go to your local, because this is, I'm talking about the Nashville one. This one actually will take you to the I think it'll take you to a generic one, and then you can go. It takes you to where you are, to where you're low, to where you live, and it'll take you to your nearest EC, entrepreneurial center. And it was really just a great experience. It's a great place. You can rent rooms there. You can have there's conference rooms there. You can set up events there. There's a lot of things that you can do. You get tickets to events, weekly events that they have, that where you learn about business or whatever it is that you're trying to learn about. And it's just a great experience. So check out your local EC, and make that happen. If you're into film, if you're, I'm going to give you these things now because we're talking about today entertainment, right? Um, so, having an entrepreneurial center for entertainers, it's not necessarily a thing that exists unless you go to maybe one of your unions. If you're a SAG member, or you belong to the directors union, it exists as well. Um, Maybe they have events, that's something you can go to on your own as well. But here are 5 ways to find a mentor in the entertainment industry. Number one, show up consistently where professionals gather. Makes sense, right? Attend film festivals, songwriter rounds, conferences, workshops, and industry networking events. Getting familiar with people in that industry often is what really builds relationships. So you want to go to these places, you want to be there consistently, you want to meet people, you want to get down information, do what I do. I have on a little QR code on the back of my phone, taped to the back of my phone, and I just show it to people. They scan it, boom, connects us. And a lot of people have those too. They have cards, and you just scan the card. Or I have one guy that I met had a bracelet. You just take your phone and you put your phone on the bracelet, and they transfer all the information to that. I'm not really a big fan of that because I don't know what else is being transferred to my phone, but there you go, right? That's my conspiracy brain. Number two, ask for advice, not mentorship. Instead of asking someone to be a mentor right away, ask one thoughtful question or request a brief conversation. Many mentoring relationships begin naturally over time. Yeah, so you don't want to go up to somebody, hey, great, I love what you do. Can you be my mentor? That's just gonna not that's not gonna work, right? So you want to actually, ease into conversations. You want to also be someone, which I think is the next one. You want to be valuable to them, right? You want to be someone that they want to connect with, that maybe they can utilize in their business, and then they can bring you along, and they can actually they can benefit, you can benefit, and it can be a relationship that it's really, give relationship, right? Um, so number three is become valuable first. Look for ways to help experienced professionals with a project, event, production, or organization. People are more likely to invest in someone who contributes. So continue working on what you're working on. Continue going to film festivals, going to writers' rounds, meeting artists, taking information, having meetings, because you never know who you're going to meet with. You never know what that relationship is going to build. And when you find a relationship that you can give something to, they're going to remember you. They're also going to appreciate you, and next time they see you, it's a famous quote by Maya Angelou, right? She said, people will not remember what you said or what you did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And if you meet someone and you make them feel good, you make them feel comfortable, the next time they see you, they're just going to have a pleasant experience by seeing you because they felt really good because of you, right? So number four is build long-term relationships instead of collecting contacts. Now, this is something that I had to learn myself because I would just get a lot of contacts, right? So stay in touch, celebrate others' successes, and generally support their work. Mentorship grows from trust, not from exchanging business cards, right? So I used to collect a lot of business cards, and I still do. I got a couple of them here that I have to actually call. And but what I do is I call and then I build a relationship with them. I don't just call them, or I don't just take a business card and go home and put it on my table, on my desk. You know what I mean? I really, I really go and I have a. I mean, if you could look at my desk, a lot of business cards in front of me because I've been to a lot of things recently, and a lot of other. There's more things here that I have to cover as well, and there are things also that sometimes it's not even my industry. Like for instance, I went to I did a photography thing for my church at this uh field. What do you call those? Where they put out the tents and they have all the vendors are out there. It's like a party. It's like a community center. It's like a community event, right? And so I found one of them was this company called the Ecological Conservation Strategy, and I found them, and I started talking to the young lady that was there, and I learned all about what they're trying to work on and stuff, and I thought it was wonderful trying to save. It's hard to really develop, especially here in Nashville. There's a lot of develop all these things, and then to be able to keep the greenery, right? Keep parks and keep the air clean because that's what trees and foliage, that's what it does, right? It helps keep the air clean. It's what we breathe. So we need those spaces. That's what they work on. So I thought, oh, this is really cool. So they have an event coming up, which I'll be there. I met her, so I have a contact there. This is where you meet people. Now, is it an entertainment? Not really, but can it be adjacent to entertainment in some way? Of course it can. I mean, just because you're an entertainer doesn't mean that you don't like the environment and you don't want it to be clean and you don't want the spaces to be presentable when somebody comes and visits your town, right? You want it to look good. And the last one here, number five, is to be mentor worthy. What does that mean? That sounds weird, right? But it's true. Continue improving your craft. Stay humble, follow through on commitments, and be teachable. Oh my gosh, this is so important. You know, be teachable. You have to learn from people. You have to be very, very clear. There was funny. There's that clip with Elon Musk. I wish I would have thought of it earlier, but there's a clip where he's talking to a gentleman about one of his rockets, and they're talking about a specific thing on one of the rockets, and it's only on the boosters that they added this thing. And I don't know the technical terms of it because I don't build rockets. But he was talking to this one guy, and he says, "Yeah, we installed it." And the guy asked him, "Oh, but that's only on the boosters, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah." And he starts thinking. He goes, "Oh." He goes, "Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that." He realized that that thing he could also be put onto the actual rocket itself, or to not just the boosters, and he kind of corrected it. He took a guy who was just interviewing him, who had a question, and he took it. That shows you that he is very reasonable, that he would actually be a teachable person if he was a mentor to someone, or if someone was a mentor to him at some point. That means he learns by really listening and observing and not thinking that you know everything. If you go around saying, "Oh yeah, I already know that, I already know that, I already know that," you're not going to learn anything. Your life is going to be really, really rough. I'm telling you, it's gonna be rough. Sometimes somebody will tell me something that I know, that I study, like how to do podcasts, and oh yeah, well, you got to get a camera and you got to get a microphone. You can use a thing called StreamYard, and there's another one called Riverside, and you can use these. And I'm thinking, yeah, yeah, I'll just say, yeah, yeah. Actually, I use StreamYard. I do that, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't go like, oh yeah, I already know that. Yeah, I know. No, I let them finish what they're saying, acknowledge them, because maybe they'll say something that I don't know. Matter of fact, StreamYard, I got on. I used to be on Zoom many many years ago when I first started this, and somebody mentioned it to me on a show. On a show, I'm talking to somebody, and they said, "Yeah, there's a thing called StreamYard that just came out, and it's pretty good. I hear about it. They use it in the office." And I was like, "Really?" As soon as I wrote it down during the show, I went that day, and about 2 or 3 days later, I was on StreamYard. I've never gone back to anything else. This is what I've been using. So be teachable. Very important. The best mentors are often drawn to people who demonstrate commitment, curiosity, and consistency. Very, very key elements. Those three C's: commitment, curiosity, consistency. Commitment, curiosity, consistency. So, commitment is just that you're doing this. You want to do this. This is your passion. You're committed to it. No matter what gets in your way, you're going to keep moving forward. Curiosity, you're always wanting to learn. You're always, asking questions. You're always like, trying to figure out the next thing. You're curious. Curious is healthy. Being curious is healthy, especially when it's towards your entrepreneurial goals. And number three, consistency. You want to be consistent. You want to sometimes when you're really tired and you don't feel like you want to do a thing, you do it anyway. Because you have to think of the C in consistency. You have to think of commitment, curiosity, and consistency. And that consistency is going to get you really, really far. I guarantee you that it will open doors for you. And sometimes it's not easy, and that's when you have to really push yourself. And that's when you really feel the commitment, the curiosity, and the consistency. Is when you really don't feel like doing it, and you do it anyway. You look back and you're like, I think I'm on the right track. Very, very important and very cool feeling too. All right, friends, I want to thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all very much. We will be here tomorrow morning. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Talk about the little Puerto Rican guy who works in film and music and entertainment and loves to help people. The John Henry Soto Show. All right, friends, take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you. Take care of each other. And as always, peace.